Hello, Yuri. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, Pat. Yes, I hear you.
Okay, good.
Good. Let's hope that other guys will find this link.
Yep. And not join the other one. I want to test sharing my screen again. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Fabio.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Oh, hi, John.
Hi, John.
I was a little bit worried that not all committee members can find me.
Sorry, Yuri, your voice was a robot. Couldn't hear
So
you.
you're first.
Uh, maybe one more minute and I guess we can start or
Another Fabio connected. Okay, but I guess you can start anyway. We are
yeah.
going to record this meeting.
Yep. It will be a short call, I guess, but okay. Yeah, so let me share the slide. 1 second. Okay, so can everyone see my screen now?
Yes. Now I have much longer bird.
Okay, cool. So yeah, let's start then. Yeah, so 19th of August, 2025, Identus community call. Yeah, please read the antitrust policy and also the code of conduct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's start then. So for the agenda, it will be the same as every week. So we'll go through the update and some discussion and then Q&A. So a quick recap. So I wasn't here last week, but anyone can jump in if I missed something. So I think we have we share what happened in Rare Evil, and Gonzalo also talk about his proposal of the features. Yeah, so that include VCDM, MDoc, presentation exchange, and multi-format credential. And I guess everyone know because I wasn't here. So yeah, so quick recap for last week. So for this week, the agenda is very short. So yeah, so it's on me. So I want to start with announcing that NeoPrism, which used to be the pet project that I announced last year. So right now it's officially under Hyperledger. And so a quick recap on what is NeoPrism. So NeoPrism is a new Prism node implementation in Rust, and it's designed with lesson learned from the problem that we face and what we learned from the previous implementation. So so this is the Prism node which is able to resolve the DID, able to publish the DID to the blockchain, and it's doing some fancy DID resolving into the diff W3C format. So where is this NeoPrism? So it's officially under the Hyperledger Identus project. So you can go to these repositories and you will see NeoPrism here. So yeah, it's got some nicer documentation thanks to LLM, and it also has the documentation side. So if you want to know how to use this or how to configure it, you can check out this documentation. So yeah, it's got some links. So we have the artifact published in Docker Hub, which you can pull and use it right away. And it's got some public instances. So for example, this is the mainnet public instance. So you can see what is already on the mainnet. Click here and you'll see the DID state. And also in the web UI, you can also check the Swagger doc, which is new. And we also have the resolver API. So there are a few one because one is the resolution spec, which is what resolution from the universal resolver returns. And if you want to use this, fine. But if you want to use it behind the universal resolver, then there is also the driver API. Yeah, so a bunch of links and how to install, how to use it. So if you have Docker, you can install using Docker, or if you use Nix, then you can install it using Nix, and some fancy diagram explaining the architecture. So yeah, so you can deploy this using multiple modes. So for example, one would be the indexer mode, which allows you to resolve the DID, or in the submitter mode, which is when you want to write something on the blockchain. So you have the DID and you want to publish the operation, or you can use both. So for example, in the deployment, you can deploy the submitter separate from the indexer. So in this case, you can do some fancy deployment stuff, like you can have one submitter and multiple indexer. So for the high availability, or you can you can use the standalone mode for simple deployment. So here is a full loop. So you could use NeoPrism to publish through the Cardano wallet, and it goes to the blockchain. It goes back to the indexer, and verifier can have a look at what's in the DID document. So yeah, some explanation about the architecture and how to configure it. So you can configure it in the indexer mode, which support multiple source of block DLT source. So you can sync it using Aura, which doesn't require DB sync, which is very lean. Or if you have the DB sync, then we also support that, because we know um, the user of Prism already have this already, so why not? Yeah, so how to configure the indexer, how to configure the submitter. So you have the Cardano wallet, some configuration flags, and how to configure the logging. So if you want to debug something, then this page is gonna be helpful. And NeoPrism, so in order to be more confident about what we delivered, so we have this Prism specification test, which tests the specification of Prism against all the Prism node implementation. So for example, the test is here. And we have a bunch of test case here, so you can check how it's implemented. For example, we have the create did operation, and the tests are defined here, and it's run in the GitHub action. So every time we have the new update, then the conformance test is gonna check if the implementation is correct. And not only we test for NeoPrism, but we also test against the original Prism node. So we know that whatever that Prism node can do, NeoPrism can do as well. So in the CI, we have a NeoPrism test suite. So everything is green. So it's got some, for example, it would reject a did operation with 51 service, or if the some ID is longer than 101 character. So all the edge case, not all, but a lot of edge case are tested in this suite, and also the Prism node is also checked. So we know that at least now they are on par. And actually, NeoPrism is actually doing a bit more, because we are extending the Prism spec. We support the new key types and the new operations. So that is not yet available in the original Prism node. So it's something that might be considering when we deprecate Prism node and support the new specs. Yeah, so this is the documentation. So you can have a look. It's got some CLI command and OpenAPI specs. So you can copy this and paste it in the Swagger and see what you can use. Yeah, so you have indexer API, some submitter API, so you can publish your protobuf, your sign operation here. So yeah, I think I covered everything I want to talk about. So yeah, the architecture, the test. Yeah, a little bit for the roadmap. So this is just not fully committed, but something that we might want to balance, because we also have competing priorities. So yeah, so of course we are gonna increase the coverage and documentation, and part of the test that I just showed is gonna be used for verifying the VDR driver somehow for the catalyst. And also I think this is gonna be very important. So I really want to deprecate the Prism node. So we are going to look at some integration with the cloud agent, and in the future, so this is very very long future, so it's gonna it will be helpful to have more support source. So for example, we might add some block force to fetch the block, and we might support other wallet as well. Yeah, but for now I think it's already on par, so it's all good. And yep, I think that's all I want to talk about. Yeah, so any question, I'm happy to answer.
Great job, Pat, and I'm really glad that finally we have another alternative to the Prism node. I just wanted to highlight a couple of historical context about these changes. We had problems with the Prism node related to resource consumption. And as you know, Prism node is pretty solid and properly tested solution. I would say that it was production ready a couple of years ago. And the problem was with using dbSync only for getting the information about the Atala operations and about the did state. And when we were larger Atala tribe, we planned to find some time to refactor the Prism node and perform splitting of read and write operation in the NeoPrism, but did this, and it allows you to segregate the responsibilities and deploy more scalable solution. So you can deploy one submitter to update did methods, and you can deploy a number of indexers in a different locations to support availability, fault tolerance, and great response of the service. Additionally, in NeoPrism, compared to the Prism node, there are options to support different data providers. First of all, it's Aura. For Aura, you don't need to deploy anything else because Aura uses public Cardano feeds, and it takes some time to index all Cardano blockchain. Probably Pat can elaborate this later. But if you use DB-Sync and DB-Sync with Demeter, so with Demeter you don't need to run all the stack and allocate a lot of resources for DB-Sync. You can just use a free tier of Demeter, and in a couple of queries you can perform indexing of the full Cardano blockchain. And another question to Pat, how much time does it take to index the DID Prism in particular network using DB-Sync? Because it was
Yeah, very fast.
how long?
Oh, you mean Aura or DB-Sync?
DB-Sync.
Something like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so 30 seconds is required to start the indexer with DB-Sync, with Demeter, and your node is going to be up and running as a resolver, which is perfectly fits to some enterprise or private deployments where you don't want to rely on a public DID resolver, but want to use your private DID resolver for DID Prism. And in a long-term perspective, not long-term perspective, it's later, Pat can share the insights about resource consumption. As you know, Prism node is GVM microservice written in Scala. So the Docker image is around 500 megabytes, and the Docker image of the NeoPrism, NeoPrism is written in Rust, is much smaller as far as I know.
Yeah.
And the memory footprint is similar. It's like comparing GVM application with heavy Scala code base and the Rust application that is built for particular platform. So the memory, what should I?
Yeah, 16 megabyte.
Yep.
But it depends. This is using Aura. Yeah, but it's very small.
Yep. So it opens a lot of opportunities for Identus community to deploy NeoPrism for your private usage, or deploy your submitter only for you with your Cardano wallet locally without allocating a lot of resources, as we ought to do with the Prism node, Cardano node, DB-Sync, and all other services. And another use case is for SDKs. As you know, we are investing some time in evolving SDKs, like support issuance and support publishing DID operations and other operations using BlockFrost API. So if you use Block SDK, TypeScript SDK in your solution, and only focus it on non-custodial solution, when you keep your private keys in a secret store of zero trust database, or in mobile application, you just need the BlockFrost API to deal with DIDs, and you can use only the indexer that will resolve DID. You don't need the Prism node, Cloud Agent, and any other heavy infrastructure services to maintain your infrastructure. Yep. Guys, any questions, comments?
Yep, I see Roberto hands up.
Yeah, I have one question. Can is the new diff format for the result response? I think I saw that it allowed for free-form metadata, I guess, from when you're resolving that you can attach to the response. I asked this because for us it will be very useful to have like the address, for example, of that transaction. Whenever we're resolving in Cardano specifically, right? Will be very helpful to have that or any other information from that transaction, even the raw payload, as information for us when we want to resolve a particular date that gets stored in Cardano. I don't think I mean, there are other ways to get it, but it's always like, oh, using like Blockfrost API or something else to kind of get that information, or an external system that also resolves like the one that Bjorn did. But if we can have that information right away from when we're resolving directly within the system, that will be very helpful. But I don't know if that is possible. I think I saw it, the metadata entry that you can put in there.
The resolution metadata?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm not aware of that, but I need to double check. Or maybe you can send me where the
I
reference.
think I saw it in the API that you were showing.
Oh, really?
That has that. I think Yuri, you have some insight in there.
Not insights. We discussed the issue that we have in GitHub about turning the transaction ID with Prism node and Cloud Agent. And I remember this ticket, and we have all required API in the protobuf definition. So I believe that this feature can be added to the NeoPrism pretty easy. I can spend some time with Spot, and probably in a couple of weeks, depending on our load, we can deliver this as well. Yes, thank you for.
Awesome.
I remember, and we inspected protobufs, so it's possible to return the transaction, but it should be a second call, because in the first call you just submit a transaction and we don't know the transaction ID, because transaction should be applied and indexed in the blockchain. So if you can call for the DID that is already indexed, you can get this transaction, but not immediately.
Right. Yeah, it has to be upon resolving, not on submitting.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Good job in this. That's great. Great improvements.
Yes. Applause to Pat.
Yeah.
And
Good job,
I'll be
Pat.
happy if we integrate this into Cloud Agent.
Yeah. It's looking likely.
Yeah.
We've been discussing with Span that it would be nice to have a NeoPrism client in the Cloud Agent, and in this way we can deprecate the Prism node completely. We also need to spend some time with Alan and add NeoPrism to the integration project, where we have all SDKs and component together. So I believe that on the way we will share a couple of configuration and Docker files that we can run to test the use cases with our SDKs and Blockfrost. We just need to wait for Alan because he's in PTO. And I don't know, but it might be possible to create particular bundle for WebAssembly from the Rust codebase, and have some reusable components in TypeScript SDK as well.
Oh wow, that would be great.
Yeah, it's a next challenge. But is it possible to create NeoPrism as a WebAssembly and use it in a browser?
Yeah, in theory it should be possible, but we need to check if we are not accidentally using some nasty library that is not
Yes.
play well with the
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it,
I've been there compiling the Watson models for DITCOM and all that. It's not fun. So it's but it should be possible.
yeah.
Anything from Rust to the Watson WebAssembly should
Yeah,
work. If it's not,
if it's pure Rust, then it's
if
very
it,
easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool, awesome.
The
Okay,
problem
so
might be in indexing time, because in a Docker container, we can spend 30 seconds to index all stuff, and in Wasm, it might be harder. Yes, but up to you.
Question right there on that implementation. It's not like before where Prism node just basically starts reading the chain immediately, and then eventually you get the indexed nodes. It's doing this like upon demand only, like if or how's that work? How's that possible to be so fast?
it's actually very simple. Well, I don't know what Prism Node is doing, but it's very simple because because you already have the table with everything. So what you need to do is a few SQL call, and then you get the whole state of everything, the whole Prism state. But
But okay, but it's resolving locally only, or how does it make sure that what's on chain it's the same? Like, so Prism Node, I think what it's doing right now is through DB Sync, it's going through all the story of the chain to kind of tell you, oh, okay, this is the full story, and then after it has that information, it's great. My question is, so NeoPrism, it's also relying on DB Sync, right? It needs the whole story on a SQL database.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so it's still so that part is not going away. That part where
it's not
basically
going
we
away.
need to we need a local database with the story of the chain. That still is the bottleneck, and that it's DB Sync's now I think faster, or it's okay at least. The problem before with Prism Node was like after DB Sync was ready, it was very slow into indexing and all that, doing its job, basically going through the whole chain again and then doing that. So I guess the improvement here is on that area after you have the database that is already synced basically with the chain. Any queries to that database trying to resolve it, that's where the improvement is. It's like that is like super fast and ready to go in like 30 seconds. I am understanding that right?
I guess so, but I can't completely
Robert,
say this
I
100%
can
because
elaborate.
I
can elaborate. So, first of all, in the Prism node that we had 240, previous one, we had a logic that went through all records in the DB Sync and without filtering. And as you know, right now there are around 12 millions of blocks, and in each block there are plenty of transactions, and Prism node performed a kind of a full scan to extract only information that only transactions that contains Atala operation. Then we created a couple of POC, and I proposed to change the logic from a full scan to the scan with filtering for the transaction that contains the Atala operation. And Shailesh optimized with Node by using this approach to query all the Atal operation at the beginning of the Bootstrap. But it's not easy to make a perfect solution. So we left the old logic for working after bootstrapping. You know,
I see.
we tried to make it quick and reliable, but full refactoring required more efforts and more testing.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
optimized only bootstrap time, and even bootstrap time was kind of not fully optimized. So as you know, in databases, you can make a select and to read the data using cursor that is created on the server side, and the SQL client on your side allows you to read data. And with the right asynchronous approach and corresponding queues, you can optimize reading, extraction, verification, and indexing stages of this ETL flow. And in the NeoPrism part was able to complete this from scratch with in a much more efficient way. That's why it bootstrap even faster than a Prism node.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically a re-implementation without having to refactor the old code base to make it work.
It's a new
And
code.
it's just
It's a
it's
new code.
code that you can be just applying the lessons that you learned before in a fresh attempt. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Good job. Thank you.
Once again, good job, but let's adapt it in the stack, and I believe in this year, till the end of this year, we will be able to deprecate the Prism node.
Yep, hopefully within this year.
It's a challenging commitment, but I believe we can do this.
Yep. Okay, so any other question, or I guess we can close the call if we don't have any more question. So yep. So thank you everyone for joining, and yeah, let's wrap up.
Thank you, Pat, for hosting. And guys, you can try to play with NeoPrism and see how fast that
Yeah.
works.
And also, if you face any issue or if you need some improvement, don't afraid to open an issue. It will really help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Right.
Thank you, guys,
Thank you.
and see you in 1 week. Bye-bye.
Yep. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.